As a voluntary benefit, full-time county employees can contribute to a 401k plan through Prudential Retirement. We will cover why you need to save more for your retirement, understanding the features of 401k, and how to get started. Your local retirement education counselor, Kristen Bryan, will be available to help you through every phase, starting at enrollment and all the way through retirement. She will also be at your mandatory benefits meeting on Wednesday. How do you, as an employee, envision your retirement? We understand that different individuals have different desires in mind, but most of them have one thing in common. They require money to make them happen. Will you have money to cover your must-have expenses, such as health care, housing, food, and transportation? And where will your retirement income come from to cover these expenses and more? Will your money come from the North Carolina retirement system, post-retirement earnings, savings, or other resources? There are many reasons you need to save a little extra for your retirement. First, let's talk about one of the biggest misconceptions people have about retirement, that it is simply a function of age. That is just not true. Retirement is about much more than just reaching a certain age so you can stop working. The reality is that retirement is a matter of having enough money to support your standard of living after you stop working, regardless of how old you are. You can retire when you can afford to stop working. For some, that may be at 65. For others, maybe 62 or 57. For a lucky few who begin planning early enough, maybe 50. Now think about this question. How much money do you think you'll need to support your lifestyle if you live to be 80, 90, or 100 years old? Many financial professionals explain it this way. In order to maintain your current standard of living during retirement, you will likely need an annual retirement income of at least 80% of your final working income. So the point is that no matter how you view it, we're all likely going to need a lot of money to create a more secure retirement. You need to make sure that you're taking inflation into account as you save. For example, let's look at the cost of a loaf of bread just a few years ago in 2012 when it was an average of $1.50. But take a look at what the rate of inflation could do to the amount you'll spend on bread in the years to come. In the year 2020, that same loaf of bread could cost you $1.98. In 2030, $2.79. And in 2040, that same loaf could cost you $3.94. This illustrates the importance of how you're investing your retirement savings. If you're not investing your money in a way that at least keeps up with inflation, you'll actually be losing buying power in the years to come. How much control do you have over the increased cost of inflation? What can you control? How can you zap back at inflation? What power do you have today? What is within your control today that can help you prepare for tomorrow's increased cost of living? For North Carolina public employees or educators, the first piece of retirement income pie is the pension plan. You'll hear this referred to as the North Carolina Retirement Systems, or ledgers for short. Most of you are required to contribute 6% of every paycheck to your individual account at the retirement system. Once you've been employed in North Carolina state or local government service for at least 5 years, you are vested. Vested means that you are eligible to retire at some future date and begin receiving a monthly benefit for the rest of your life. You can begin receiving retirement benefits when your years of service and age meet the minimum requirements as shown in this table. Many employees are surprised to learn that their monthly pension benefit has nothing to do with what was contributed over the years. The amount of your benefit is based on a formula that is also described in the Local Government Employees Retirement System handout. It takes into account the average of your 4 highest consecutive years of salary, your years and months of service, and a retirement factor that is set by the General Assembly. For comparison purposes, this table reflects the averages from 2017. Another page in the handout describes the various payout options available to you at retirement. According to the Treasurer's Office, all options are actuarially equal. That is, no one option is better than the others financially on paper. However, when you factor in your own circumstances, you may find that one particular payout option would likely be most advantageous for you. Please do not base your choice of payout on what your coworker may have chosen. Your life conditions may be very different and therefore dictate a different option when you choose to retire. As you are thinking about what your benefit might look like, remember that cost of living adjustments or COLAs are not guaranteed. All of this means that inflation can erode the value of your pension benefit over time. I would like to take a moment to introduce the 5 key actions you can take to make the most of your retirement plan during your working years. Doing these can help you get on track to meet your retirement goals. First, you start by enrolling. Then allocate, consolidate, increase, and catch up. I can help you take any one or more of these actions when you come to your mandatory benefits meeting. Some benefits of enrolling include decreasing today's taxable income, generating future tax-deferred potential growth. It is easy to get started, plans are flexible, and have low cost savings. Those differentiators center around who is eligible to participate, when withdrawals may be made if they're still working, and whether the withdrawal could be subject to an IRS early withdrawal penalty. One of the other major benefits to investing in an employer-sponsored retirement plan is that your contributions are tax deferred. This means that each dollar you save is one less dollar that your employer reports to the IRS as income. This lowers your current federal tax liability and as a result does not impact your pay as much as you might think. Let's take a look at an example. Here's how Nick's paycheck looks before he starts saving in the plan. What happens to his paycheck after he starts saving 3% of his pay? His take-home pay is only $63 less than before he started saving. That's the power of tax-deferred investing. Let's look at Rita's situation. As a working mom, Rita's juggling a lot of financial priorities. She feels like she can't afford to have any more money come out of her paycheck. However, when you look at it closely, you can see how little an impact it will make in Rita's weekly take-home pay while giving her tax savings and potentially making a significant difference in how much she could have at retirement. Take a look at some examples of how much certain contribution levels actually affect a retirement investor's paycheck. A different type of contribution would be a Roth plan. These contributions are made after tax and offer future tax-free income. Employer contributions for law enforcement officers are made to your account on a pre-tax basis only. When considering a Roth plan, think about whether or not you want a tax break now or later. Now is the best time to start saving. In this next example, Sarah just started working for her employer, but thinks she has plenty of time until retirement, so she hasn't thought about starting to save for it now. Let's assume she puts off starting to save until age 30. She saves $100 a month and she continues saving at that rate, and her account earns 7% per year. If she started 5 years earlier, though, look at the difference it would make over time. Let's look at Tom's situation. He's feeling discouraged when he thinks about how little he has saved for retirement throughout his working years. The good news is, it's never too late to save. In fact, even a little can make a big difference. Imagine Tom saves just $25, $50, or even $100 each month. Look at how much he could accumulate within 20 years. Just think, if you were planning on retiring in 20 years, how much more secure you would feel if you had $142,000 or even $155,000 in retirement savings when you stopped working. Keep in mind also, even if you didn't save as much as you would have liked when you were younger, you can still make up for it by contributing as much as you can now. And if you are age 50 or better, you qualify for catch-up contributions, which means you can contribute an extra $6,000 over the annual contribution limit for this year. While it is good to start as early as possible, it is never too late to save more towards your retirement. All too often, we sit down with plan members to review their account and discover that they've never increased their contribution rate. They are still contributing the same amount as the day they started their plan. While it's great that at least they're saving, they've missed a key strategy to building retirement plan value: the power of increasing contributions over the years. Here's an example of two hypothetical plan members, James and Julie. They both get started saving $100 monthly in one of the North Carolina plans. These two members are invested exactly the same, earning an annual average rate of return of 7%. The only difference is that each year, Julie adds $10 to her monthly contribution rate. So year one, Julie contributed $100 a month, but year two, she increased her contribution to $110 a month. Year three, she increased her contribution to $120 a month, and so on. The difference in their account value is staggering. After 30 years, Julie has almost twice as much in her retirement account as James does. People often think that adding just a few more dollars to their contribution rate won't make a big difference, but we are here to tell you that it does. When choosing your North Carolina 401k plan investments, you have two options. You can do it yourself, or you can get help with GoalMaker. An important investment concept called asset allocation can help you choose your investments and minimize risk. So what is asset allocation? Asset allocation is simply the process of spreading your money across different types of asset classes: stock, fixed income, and stable value investments. By dividing your portfolio among a variety of investment classes, you minimize your reliance on any one investment and help manage your investment risk. Historically, the markets move in cycles. Generally, when one kind of investment is performing well, another may not be performing as well. Changing economic and financial market conditions affect asset classes differently. And since you don't know which asset class will perform well next year or the year after, having a variety of asset classes in your portfolio may help you to better weather the rough spots in the market. For each investment, there is a risk-reward relationship. If an investment offers little risk of losing money, it may also offer less of a chance for the reward of earning money. An investment with greater risk may offer a higher chance for reward. This chart explains what I mean. On the left are low-risk investments, such as stable value funds. Because these offer little exposure to the markets, you may be protected from the ups and downs of the market. But in exchange for the stability of smaller, steadier returns, you potentially sacrifice the chance for bigger returns. As we progress to the right, the investments increase in degree of risk, which also potentially increases the chance of return, or the ability to earn money. At the far right, we have the investments that offer the most market risk. But remember that the potential risk has increased, so you also have a greater chance to lose money. That is the idea behind risk versus reward, and it's important to understand when choosing your retirement investments because every investment has some degree of risk. Goalmaker can help make investing easier. Goalmaker uses two simple pieces of information: your expected retirement age and your investor style, conservative, moderate, or aggressive, to guide you to a suggested model investment portfolio made up of the investments available in your plan. However, you may always choose whichever Goalmaker portfolio you like. Once you have chosen your Goalmaker portfolio, Goalmaker will automatically rebalance your investment mix and shift it over time as you near retirement and even after retirement. If you leave your job, it's important to know that you have a number of options for withdrawing your funds. You can leave your assets in the plan until age 70 and a half, when you must begin making minimum withdrawals. You can roll these assets into an individual retirement account. If you go to a new employer, you can roll these assets into the new plan if your new employer accepts rollovers. You elect a systematic payment option. For example, you may choose to have your assets dispersed monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, or in an annual installment. You can have the money sent to you in a lump sum or simply take it out on an as-needed basis. You can transfer all or portion to an annuity and receive guaranteed stream of income for life. Should you need to access your funds while still working, you can take out loans against your 401k. So now it's time to put all of what you learned today to work for you. You will need to decide how much to contribute, choose your investments, enroll in the plan, elect a beneficiary, and consolidate prior retirement plans. Your local retirement counselor and other resources are available to help you through every phase, from enrollment through retirement. The Retirement Income Calculator helps you determine how much income you'll need in retirement, which can help you learn whether or not you're on the right path to a comfortable retirement. If there's a gap in between where you're headed and where you'd like to end up, it will recommend ways to make up the difference. The calculator retains your data and syncs with your online retirement account, automatically updating every time you log into your account. It also lets you test drive new savings scenarios, such as a higher contribution level, at any time without having to re-enter your information. It's a great tool that can help your retirement planning stay on track. The My North Carolina Retirement Statement, or MRS, which the North Carolina Department of State Treasurer provides each year to active employees with at least 1 year of service, gives you a snapshot of your projected total retirement benefits. The MRS was formerly known as the Annual Benefit Statement, or ABS. Your MRS is published each spring, and it's available to you throughout Orbit. Lincoln County's Prudential representative is Kristen Bryan. She will be available to speak with you at your benefits meeting on Wednesday. Should you have any additional questions, she can be reached by phone at 704-219-7290 or via email at kristen.bryan@prudential.com. Enrolling in the North Carolina 401k plan is easy. You will complete an enrollment form at your mandatory benefits meeting. Contributions will take effect with the next available payroll. Your account offers you some terrific, easy-to-use tools that are designed to help you. Each quarter, Prudential Retirement will provide you with an easy-to-read retirement statement that includes all the information about your account, including fund performance, your account value, tips on how you can save more, important updates from your employer, and more. You may elect to access your statement online for added convenience and security rather than receive it in the mail. You can also take advantage of our toll-free phone service by calling 866-NC-PLANS, where you can obtain account information or perform transactions through your telephone keypad. Prudential's participant website, ncplans.prudential.com, with its easy-to-navigate tabs, makes it a breeze to find the information you need and to process your transactions online. Simply visit northcarolinaplans.prudential.com to quickly view your account details, transfer money between investment options, increase your contribution amounts, change investment options, check fund performance, and review, print, or request online statements. Thank you so much for viewing this presentation today. I encourage you to take what you've learned here, along with the tools that Prudential provides, and get started on your retirement. Be sure to act today to protect your tomorrow. Once again, Kristen Bryan will be at your mandatory benefits meeting on Wednesday to complete your enrollment and to answer any questions.